Hi, Mark Reed here. In this video, I'm just going to explain to you how to share TATEMS data between two computers that are not networked together. So you just need computer number one, computer number two, and then you need a USB drive or something like Dropbox.com to transfer the data back and forth between the two computers. So the data on each computer is going to be inside C program files TATEMS 2005 / TATEMS 2005 be.mdb. Or if you've got a 64-bit machine, like a newer version of Windows, like Windows 8 and maybe even Windows 7 or Vista, then it's going to be inside program files x86 and then / TATEMS 2005 / TATEMS 2005 be.mdb. So it just depends on which version of Windows you have. If you see that x86 folder, then that's where, the program files x86 folder, then that's where TATEMS 2005 folder is going to be located, always on a 64-bit machine. If it's a 32-bit machine, you won't even see this program files parentheses x86. It'll just say program files. Okay, so basically, first thing you want to do is close TATEMS on both computers, or if they're, if you're going to be doing this, one after another, and they're fairly close together. So when you're doing the transfer of data from the computer to the USB drive, close TATEMS first. So close TATEMS, and then copy the file here, TATEMS 2005 be.mdb. Copy that to the USB drive. All right. And then take that USB drive, plug it into computer number two, copy that file that you copied to the USB drive, this file here. Let me just paste this over here. That file gets copied from the USB drive to computer number two. All right, and then you can make sure TATEMS is closed when you copy it to computer number two. And then you can open TATEMS up. And anything that was entered on computer number one will now be available to be seen on computer number two. At that point, only computer number two basically has the master data file. So, so basically, anything he enters will not be seen on computer number two unless you copy it back to computer number one using the USB drive. All right, so if you want to, so basically you can decide who has the master data file. Maybe you just want to, maybe computer number one is the one that's always doing the updating, and they just send the updates to computer number two. Computer number two just opens and views TATEMS. They don't actually do anything with it. But if computer number two is going to be making changes, while that's happening, computer number one cannot make changes at the same time because there's no way to synchronize two files. You've got to consider that this file is going to be the master data file, and it moves back and forth between these two computers. So if this guy on computer number two is making changes, computer number one cannot make any changes, because if computer number one sends his file back, if computer number two sends his file back to computer number one, then computer number one's data will be overwritten with whatever computer number two was entering. Now, one other issue that you're going to come to, and that is the registration key. So when you start off saying entering the registration key in computer number one and then send the file to computer number two, the registration screen is going to pop up again and ask you for a registration number. So to alleviate that issue, what you need to do is just do a round trip one time. So you start off on computer number one, you enter the registration key, take the file, put it in the USB drive, and then put it over to computer number two. Open computer number two, TATEMS on computer number two, enter the registration key, so it gets entered into this file. So now at that point, both registration numbers for both computers have been entered into this TATEMS data file. Then you take the TATEMS data file, after it's been registered on both computers, back to computer number one, and then you can start entering data. All right, and then once you've done that, then you can send it back over to computer number two, and you can just keep doing a round trip that way. Or if, like I said before, if computer number two is doing all the updating, once you've entered the data, registration key in both computers, from both computers into this data file, then if computer number 2 is the one doing all the updating, you can just stay there. They can do all the updating they need. And then later on, when computer number 1 needs to see an updated version, you can just copy it to the USB drive and then send it back over to computer number 1, copy it into this folder. All right, hopefully that's helpful for you. And like I said, I think you can use, instead of a USB drive, you could use Dropbox. So basically you'd have Dropbox installed on both computers. You would copy this file into the Dropbox folder on computer number 1, and then computer number 2 would see that file, copy it from the Dropbox file to his TATEMS folder, and then you would basically be able to do the copying back and forth the same way as if it was a USB drive. So hopefully that's helpful for you. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Take care.